Hey guys, welcome back to Busted to Built. Today I got my blue truck in here. You don't even know about it. Let me tell you about it. This thing here was the truck that I started out basically life with. Not really. Got this when I was 15. This was my first vehicle. And it didn't look anything like this at all. It was just a two-tone, bone stock, 94 Z71, rusted out in all the right places. Had 220,000 miles on it. And that was in 2005. So now we're here in 2025. How about that? 20 years. Maybe I should do a 20-year truck update video, right? Yeah, you couldn't make one of those these days. Those things are disposable, but you can make one about this truck. Neither here nor there. But anyways, this thing's out and about. Megan's had this thing up on the socials, Instagram and Facebook. If you followed us on there, we really appreciate it and like the interaction. Got a good group of people in there so far. It's been pretty fun. But anyways, she's been posting a bunch of this because I've been driving this the last couple weeks. And anyways, here it is. So I got this trophy sitting up here just because I figured we'd have story time and I'd tell you all about it. But we'll get right to this. But back in 2016 there's like a bar like 25 minutes away. They host this local burnout bash every year. They used to. I don't know if they even do it anymore. I haven't heard anything about it. But anyway, they used to do it. And I had this truck out there like 2 years, maybe 3 years. I had my old mud truck out there at one point. But when I took this truck out there, I ended up winning the first time I went out there. Let me see if I got any pictures of that at all. But in a nutshell, I've had this truck since I was 15 years old. Every bolt that's ever been touched on it, yours truly touched it. Learned how to work on everything pretty much working on this truck right here. So got quite a relationship with it. There's no doubt about that. But the whole reason we're out here today, it's even in the shop, I'm even making a video, is we got to do a few improvements to it. So anyways, I got a car show at our local skills center. You call it a vocational center, ed tech center, but they got a car show coming up, and I thought it'd be pretty cool if I took this over there because I'm a former skills student. So I was actually an auto body student when I was in high school. Can you tell? Don't do that anymore. Sanding's for, yeah, I don't know, people who want to build up their arms and their shoulders, and I don't want to do any more of that, but anyways, we're going to try and get this thing spruced up for a car show. Right off the bat, I put the headlights that I had in Blackie out of it. These are nice composite housing with LED lenses. And then Megan hooked us up in the back window there with our Busted to Built logo. But otherwise, pretty ready to roll. This paint's like 15 years old onto it. And so in some spots, it looks really nice, you know, like right here. And in other spots, like the roof, it looks really bad. So anyway, luckily, you know, you put them up there, no one's ever got a reason to look at the roof. So, but there's nothing we really got to do to it to take this thing to a show. It's ready to rip. The main thing is all this solid axle stuff here I did to it. I did all that when I was like 20 years old. So the truck, you know, never got any suspension modification until I was done with college. Once I got out of college, I kind of went crazy, and you would almost think there was something wrong with me. So this ended up getting straight axled here in the front with the Dana 44. I got my own shock hoops that I made for it there, Panhard, made the front bumper, I made the hood, the cowl. I ended up popping a sunroof into it. It's a 6-liter LQ4 NV3500 trans, 241 T case, and got a 14 bolt in the rear, 410 gears. And the step side bed here, this thing right here, I actually can't believe how well this thing's holding up. So this is all body filler. 15-year-old body filler in there. It's amazing how well that's holding up. But if you know anything about these step sides, this is steel and this rusts out. This is composite or fiberglass, nothing gonna happen there. This right here is all steel. When I got it, that was all rusted out. So ended up just filling it. There's probably something behind it I put there, but there's a lot of body filler in there, that's for sure. Ended up making my own rear bumper for it. And yeah, I had the truck forever. Anybody that knows me knows that this is something that I've had forever. It's kind of part of my story and part of Busted the Built now. So anyways, but the things we do need to address now that I'm done rambling, hopefully for you guys. Right here on the front, I'm not real proud of how this turned out, but like I say, I was like 20 years old with a flux welder, and so I did what I could, and this, this is that, what I could. But these are actually off the IFS truck. When I cut all the brackets off, these are the lower differential mounts right here, and so I just re-welded them to the frame for my front spring perches, and from there got some, what have you. I don't even remember. I think just Craigslist is where I got the springs from. Some guy just said lift springs for Chevy truck, and I'm like, I like lift springs for Chevy trucks, and ended up with them. So, but I did some real crude clearancing right in here, and I don't know how well you can see it, but right here the spring will actually come up and hit this lower control arm mount that I never whacked off real good. And over here on the front, I don't like the clearance in here, and I don't like the clearance right here either. So I'm going to try to address that kind of on both sides here, and then we'll get that, because now people are going to look at it. If you take it to a show, people are going to put their peepers on it, and they're going to say, why is this at a show? That looks like crap. And, I'll say, well, yeah, that's what I think too. So let's just try and do something about that. But this truck's really, I keep it around, and I keep it as is all this time, just so I can remind myself of where I came from. It's easy to get carried away when I'm like building the Tahoe, do this, do that, do this. And then sometimes it's nice to just look back at this, just back when I had to keep things simple because I didn't have a lot of knowledge. I didn't have a lot of tools. I didn't have a lot of money. Definitely didn't have a lot of support. So, everything was on a budget. And so that's how this truck come together. And so anyways, we got to keep with that spirit with everything we do, it seems like. And I really like keeping this one, like I say, for the nostalgia, just the way that it is. Everything about it just kind of looks right and looks mean. Everything except the interior. That got treated like a true high school kid right there, for sure. Molested. So let's get this thing up in the air and let's get working on it. All right, guys, that's not the blue truck, that's the Tahoe. Yeah, things changed a little bit, so I was told I could bring more than one if I could get them over there, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Tahoe over there too. So we got a little different setup here happening. So we're going to put the blue truck to work, and we're going to get the Tahoe over there on blue truck power. So that'll be pretty nostalgic for me. This is over at the tech center, like I was saying, and so I'm pulling a truck I built when I was in school at the tech center on a trailer I built, pulling the truck I most recently built. So I've got my first truck, my most recent truck. That's cool. That's cool. You got to figure these are high school kids looking at it. So where are high school kids at today? Do they appreciate something like this? Something like that? I don't know. Maybe they're just going to be on their phone the whole time. Hopefully take pictures of my truck or something now. Make me feel good, but we'll see what happens here. You know, it's just a show for fun, and I think it's mostly to support the kids and their work. Some of them, if they put work into cars, for those cars to show up. But anyways, yep, we'll see what it's all about. Alright guys, taking off now. We'll see how much you can hear or see from that angle. Well, we made it, guys. That was a lot of fun. Did way better than I thought it was gonna. That's like, man, just shy of 10,000 pounds truck and trailer back there, and just hauled it with this 94 custom vintage. Beautiful.
second. He's getting rev it. He's gonna rev it. Go.
Ready?
Go for it.
All right. Here we go.
Oh yeah, that step side over there is beautiful. Hey guys, next day we're back from that show and that was pretty fun. Got Tahoe in the shop here and got Blue back in the yard where it belongs and everything's right in the world again, but it was very cool and nostalgic. Take my old truck over there and take my new truck over there, the oldest and then the latest and greatest. And greatest with quotation marks, everybody. Come on, I built it. But anyways, it was really cool. And so anyways, had fun with that. It was cool kind of seeing all the students and their interactions with the trucks. They're not into them the same way I was when I was a kid. They're definitely still into them, and they love the lack of exhaust. So that was entertaining. But otherwise, you know, a few people really were into the stuff, and other people, you know, it just wasn't their taste, and that's fine too. So anyways, I just wanted to take it out there because I was a student once, and, you know, you can learn something for those people who don't believe you can. Anyways, but so that was pretty cool, and I also like to take an opportunity to give Mike Bartlett a shout out. You also reached out on my last video from Silver Lake, and it was just awesome kind of the interaction with you. I did leave our email, and right here, I'll drop it right here, bustedtobuild@gmail.com. If you'd like to get in touch with us, an email. I also had some other fellow off-roaders that got in touch with me just to pass some information along about Dirt Disability Days, if that's something that you might be interested in, Mike, or anybody else. Anyway, if you'd like to do some more research on that anyways, and I have information to pass along for anybody that's interested in that. If, again, you'd like to email us at bustedtobuild@gmail.com. So appreciate that. Appreciate, you know, your loyalty there, Mike, too. And anyways, that's probably all for this one, and we'll catch you on the next one.